It's like a long time no see. I've had a pretty trying couple of weeks in terms of family stuff and then PhD stuff, and it all just kind of unravelled into this huge explosion of awful, and that's the worst mixed metaphor I've ever used in the entire history of the whole universe, but that's the only way I can explain it. So I haven't been around as much as I would have liked to have been around. It's been really highly requested of me to do a face routine, an updated face routine, and to show people how I contour my face using my cream pigment from Illamasqua in Hollow. And I've also had requests for an everyday eye look that I would wear all the time. So I'm going to kind of combine them all. So hopefully you enjoy, and let's get going. First thing I obviously apply is foundation. And it may kind of shock you to find out that I don't really stick to any foundation day to day. I just go with what I fancy or what I need. If I'm going out, I will pick a long wear foundation. If I'm staying in, anything goes. At the moment, the flavour of the month is definitely Matchmaster by MAC. It's not a perfect colour, it's a little bit dark, but I really like the way this looks. But it could also be I might also wear skin base, I might wear Makeup Forever face and body, and then my recent favourite thing has been Bourjois Healthy Mix Serum foundation, which is really excellent. If I'm applying Matchmaster, I do about 1.5 pumps, which sounds like quite a lot, but it's just the right amount, and I tend to dot it randomly over my face. I don't really care where it goes, to be honest, as long as, you know, the 4 compass points of my face are covered, really. Got it in my hair, that's super nice. Okay, so then I just get a flat top brush. This is the Sigma F80 flat top kabuki, and I always use a flat top brush with my Matchmaster foundation because it really works to buff it in. The reason I like Matchmaster is because it's really, really lightweight and it lasts quite well on me. It looks really, really nice. It's got quite a light, matte, natural, dewy finish that's quite luminous matte. I find it makes my skin just look really, really nice. Let's go blend on the forehead. So I just blend it all over my face and buff it in, and that works. These two things work really nicely together. The next thing I go for is a concealer. The under eye concealer I've been using at the moment is a new one, and it's the one that everyone talks about, the Collection 2000 Lasting Perfection Concealer, and this is in Fair number 1. And I just dab it under my eyes, and then I blend in with a finger. The reason I like this, I've only been using it for a week, but the reason I like it is because it does actually stay put with minimal creasing. So I quite like it on that basis, and it covers well. The only thing I will say about it is it has a drier texture than I was expecting for a liquid concealer. So for me it was a bit of an adjustment from Bobbi Brown's creamy concealer, but I really, really like this concealer on the whole. So for my face I tend to use a dry concealer, and I really like the Mercier SC1 Secret Camouflage palette at the moment. I don't really mix the shades so much as I always apply with my finger, and I go for the dark shade first, and I go just where I get redness, which is always around my nose, and I have some kind of scarring on my chin where I picked the spot, just kind of waiting for it to fade. So, and then I go in with the light shade. The reason that I like this concealer is because it's really, really dry and I have oily skin, and I need something that's going to stay on. Any creamier than this and it just melts off my face, which is not good. It covers pretty well, and I use my fingers to apply it because it's just so hard. It really needs warming up with your fingers, this concealer. So usually after I've done my concealer and my foundation I go for contour, because otherwise if I don't do it I'll forget. It's like eyebrows. Once I went out without doing my eyebrows and I felt weird for the whole day. It was just wrong. Never again. So I've got this cream pigment from Illamasqua in Hollow, and I tend to use that with my MAC, I think this is the 168 brush, and I just get a bit of product on the brush, I make a fishy face and I just blend it in. If you're a budding Ziggy Stardust, shall we say, feel free not to blend it in. The blending in is not necessary for this step. I love this product because it's so easy to use and it's completely not orange. Ever since I've had this fringe, I feel like because a lot more of my face is taken up by hair, I feel like I need to sculpt my face a bit more. So I really, really like this product. It blends really easily, it stays all day, there's no shimmer, it's not orange, and for people that really don't do bronzer like me, this is perfect. So the next thing I usually do is my eyebrows. What I usually use for my eyebrows are a couple of products. If I'm going for a natural look, I'll go for my Suqqu eyebrow liquid pen in moss green, which is a really kind of nothingy shade. It just gives you a bit of definition. So if I'm having a natural day, like especially in summer because it's quite hard wearing, this is a really good thing to do. Good thing to use. Most of the time I double team my Suqqu brow pen with my NYX eyebrow cake powder, and this is in Taupe and Ash. This was sent to me by the amazing Delicious, who's got such excellent taste. This is a really, really great brow powder. I've not touched the reddish brown side, but the Taupe side is just perfect. These two things together last all day. Because this is so long wearing, it grips onto the powder and keeps it on. Recently in my Carmine box I came across this. This is from Cosmetics a la Carte and it's the brow ink, and the eerie thing with this is that I was actually going to buy this before it turned up in my Carmine box, which is, I was looking for something because I'm not overly satisfied with this pen and I wouldn't buy it again. I was looking for another brow ink and then I stumbled across a review which mentioned Cosmetics a la Carte. So when this came in my Carmine box, I was like, what? So I've been using this ever since. I really like the nib of it because it's kind of like Lancome's art liner. It's very bendy and pliable, and you can draw in, just like the Suqqu brush pen, you can draw in the individual lines. So I've been really liking this, and I really like it on its own. It just gives really good definition to my eyebrows. So the way that I do it is I just give my eyebrows a quick groom through with a spoolie, and then I just get to work with this pen. So you can see that my eyebrows just look quite groomed and quite neat now. That's the thing I really like about this, and it's got decent pigmentation. It's got much more pigmentation than the Suqqu pen, so I use them for different things really. My highlighter of choice is definitely Face Atelier Ultra Sheer in Champagne. The reason I like these is because they're really sheer and they're hard to mess up. So for me, perfect. So what I do is I put a little bit on my hand and then I dab my brush in repeatedly just to get the product dispersed into the bristles. Then what I just do, look in a mirror, go up to my cheekbone and just blend it. So after highlighter I will go for a blush most likely. Because of the nature of what I do, I'm studying for my PhD, I don't really have any rules as to what I wear during the day. I wear basically what I fancy. So for me there's no rules about, you know, bit neutrals and whatever. So a lot of the time I love Becca Tuberose. I absolutely love this colour. It's not particularly neutral, but I think it just gives a really nice pop to the face. It's just perfect. It's hard to describe how I feel about this. Then I also love this Daniel Sandler liquid blush. This is a watercolour blush and it's in Cherub. It's a really peachy pinky colour, really neutral, really easy to wear. I love this one. And then I also tend to go for a couple of NARS's, something like Penny Lane, really easy brownish pink, and then it's Pan Form, which is slightly more browny, Douceur. At the moment I am absolutely obsessed with Douceur, so that's what I'm going to put on. I love the way it just makes me look polished, ready, and just, you know, just ready for the day. It's just perfect. I just smile, buff it on. I'm just using this Illamasqua blush brush. I think the reason I love Douceur is because I can just pick it up in a rush and I don't have to think about what I'm putting on. Like, it's really hard to overdo because it's not really, like, it's not one stroke pigment. It's just subtle colour. Kiwi says to me that if he ever wants to have an argument with me, he'll do it while I'm applying my blush, because I'm always having to smile. So the next thing I'll go for is powder. I always powder, and I always use the same powder. The powder I always use comes in a very utilitarian jar. It's not very attractive. Definitely function over form, this. It's theatre makeup, it's by Kryolan, and it's the anti-shine powder, and it's honestly the best powder I've ever had for my oily skin. It's just perfect. So I tap a little bit out into the lids, swirl my amazing Illamasqua powder brush, which I absolutely adore, in it, and then I just dust it over my face, mainly where I've concealed first, because I don't want that sliding off, and then secondarily on my forehead, which is it's a must. I have to. I like this because although it's not the most finely milled luxurious of powders, I mean this is 30 grams and it costs about £11. It really, really works and it lasts forever. It's £11.50, it's economical, and it's the best oil preventing powder I've ever found. I don't even know how to describe it. This is my second jar. It's just amazing. There's no other powder I use. So generally for the daytime or for the everyday, I don't really like to think that much about eye makeup, and increasingly I've just been wearing mascara, and that is almost unheard of for me. But when you find a mascara that's so good that you can get away with wearing mascara, even out of the house, it's a keeper. For me, I'm literally tied to my liquid liner 90% of the time, but since getting Benefits They're Real, I've been increasingly just putting on a really pretty blush, mascara, a bright lip, and I'm good. I'm done. My day-to-day typical eye would include Painterly Paint Pots. It's a very plain nude. I just put it all over the eyelids. The reason I like it is because I can wear it on its own. If I'm just going for my black liquid liner, I literally just put paint pot all over the lid. My eyelids are naturally quite red, so I just kind of dampen their enthusiasm a bit and, you know, just quiet them down. Then I usually go for something quite plain all over the lid, so they can be shimmery, but I like them to be quite pale. I'm gonna go, let's see what I fancy today. I'm gonna go for NARS, I'm gonna go for Naked Palette Urban Decay Sin. It's kind of a pinkish champagne-y shade. There's nothing really to it, but I like to bring light to my eyes. So the next thing I do is go for a medium-y brown, and I'm probably definitely gonna go for Copper Plate by MAC, which is one of my most used eyeshadow shades ever. So the brush I usually use with that is my MAC 217 or occasionally my 226. Just buff it into the outer V crease of my eye. So I've just brought a bit of contour to the eye essentially. Okay, so the next thing I would usually do is apply some eyeliner. At the moment I'm using this Shuramura painting liner in black. I'm going to apply that on my I'm going to apply that with my LY24A brush. So I just apply a thin line and then wing it out on the top lash line. having everyone watch you do your eyeliner in full HD is absolutely terrifying. The next thing I'm going to apply is mascara. The mascara that I'm using at the moment is Benefit's They're Real. This is an awesome mascara. It's just, I love it. I really, really do. And I don't like Benefit products ever, basically. This is probably one of the first Benefit products I've actually liked in years. And the reason that I love it is because it gives my lashes curl and holds it there. So the last thing I'll typically apply is a lip product, and I tend to go for anything during the day, whatever I fancy. But in the interest of ease, I will 9 times out of 10 pick up this Sleek Pout Polish. This is Perfect Plum. This is my absolute favourite, and I pretty much use it every day. I put a bit over the lips. The reason that I love this is because it's moisturising and it gives a tint to the lips without being all like, pow, you're wearing lipstick and now you're drinking tea and it's all over your tea mug and glass and whatever else you've eaten today. For me, I tend to wear something quite low-key during the day because it's easy to wear, it's easy to throw on, and it's really pleasant to wear. So that was my day-to-day updated face routine makeup tutorial thing, everyday extravaganza. And yeah, I'm probably going to play some Zelda. I'm going to leave you alone and bye!